Today, we are going to help guide you with some tips on the installation of your new Aqua Pro sand filtration system, AL75 AL100 series, which includes the pump assembly, filter tank, and multi-port valve. Please note, the Aqua Pro has a special toll-free number you can call for assistance as well, 1-877-278-2797. A few items to note before starting. Be sure to read your owner's manual, including all of the warnings and safety information. Also, when you purchase your sand, make sure to buy filtration sand. The amount required is listed on the front of the sticker on the filter tank. Note that when using O-rings, grease them with waterproof grease sold separately. We do not recommend using Vaseline. You may wish to purchase 2 isolation or slam ball valves. More specifics to follow on that further in the plumbing section. Tools required to have on hand to help with the assembly are a flathead screwdriver, a ratchet with a 1/2 inch socket, and a wrench. As you open your box, you will see the filter tank body, a small, heavier box which contains your electric motor, and a lighter box which has your pump strainer body and dial valve. Start by connecting the electric pump motor to the flat filter base with the 2 bolts that come with your filtration package. Make sure to place a washer on both sides of the nut and bolt assembly. This is to ensure there is no damage to the filter or filter base. After motor is secured tightly to filter base, attach pump strainer body. Make sure the O-ring on the pump volute is greased. Take split nut on pump strainer basket and thread onto pump motor and secure tightly. Loosen the plastic clamp from the tank neck and remove it. Remove plastic protective cap. Keep this cap as you will need it when you load and change sand in the future. Before you load the water and sand, check that the laterals and hub are tightly connected as these may have come loose during transit. Cap internal pipe with plastic cap to prevent water and sand from entering it. Fill your tank about halfway with water. This provides a cushion effect for when the sand is poured in. This will help protect the underdrain lateral from excessive shock. Carefully pour in correct amount and grade of filter sand. Remember, your filter label will indicate the amount of filtration sand you need. Now remove the protective cap. Insert filter multi-port valve with greased O-ring in place into the tank neck. You want your in port lining up with your pump and motor assembly, as shown here. Place the plastic clamp around the valve flange and tank neck and tighten with the clamp nut and bolt, just enough so the valve may be rotated in the tank for final positioning. Remove threaded plug before carefully screwing in the pressure gauge with greased O-ring in place into tapped hole in valve body. Install sight glass. Connect the pump to multi-port valve opening marked in with the hose with the special lock nuts. Remove the 1.5 by 2 inch male pipe thread adapter from connecting hose. Wrap a layer of Teflon tape around the thread of the male adapter about 4 to 5 times, pushing down the tape into the threads each time you go around. Thread the 1.5 MPT into your multi-port valve. Thread special lock nut end into pump housing first. Tighten securely. Then, hook the other end of the pump connector hose to the dial valve. tighten securely. Locate your 3.5-inch male adapters. Wrap a layer of Teflon tape around the thread of each of the male adapters about 4 to 5 times, pushing down the tape into the threads each time you go around. Make sure greased O-rings are attached or threaded ends after. Install greased O-ring on front of pump strainer basket. Install another male adapter on your out port. Install last male adapter on your waste port. Install the 2.5-inch by 6-foot hoses. You can soak hose cuffs in hot water to soften and make more pliable so it can slide in further. Make sure clamp is on loosely before connecting, eliminating the need to completely open up the clamp. Hose cuffs need to go all the way to the threaded nut. Next, the pump strainer body hose will be connected to the bottom of the pool skimmer. For the pool return hose, follow the same connectivity instructions. This one will be attached to the out port, going back to the pool return inlet. After all connections are made, tighten clamp securely with screwdriver, tapping around clamp with screwdriver handle to help seat the valve flange clamp. Next, we hook up the suction port line. There are different ways to hook up your suction port line. You may want to remove the 1.5-inch male adapter that is threaded into your pump strainer housing. You may wish to install a gate or slam isolation valve here to make cleaning your pump strainer basket easier. There is an alternative fitting with a slip nut also if you choose. After the plumbing connections are made, we are ready to start our filtration system. Be sure correct amount of filter sand is in tank, that all connections have been made and are secure. Depress the valve handle and rotate to backwash position. Line up the arrows. Always depress handle before turning so you don't damage the seal. Backwash hose is not included with this package. All backwash water needs to be drained at least 25 feet away from your pool. Make sure the water in your pool is filled up to the middle of the skimmer housing before starting the motor. Be sure all suction and return lines are open, allowing the filter tank to fill. Start the pump. An on-off switch is not on this pump. Never run it dry as it may damage seals, causing leaking and flooding. Once water is flowing out of the backwash line, run pump for at least 1 minute. The initial backwashing of the filter is recommended to remove any impurities or fine sand particles in the sand media. Turn pump off and set valve to rinse position. Start pump and operate until water and sight glass is clear for about a half to 1 minute. Turn pump off and set valve filter position and restart pump. The filter is now operating in the normal filtering mode, filtering dirt particles from the pool water. Never change dial positions with pump power on. Check system and filter for water leaks and tighten connections, bolts, and nuts as required. Notice what the initial pressure gauge reading is when the filter is clean. This varies from pool to pool. As the filter removes dirt and impurities from the pool water, accumulation in the filter will cause the pressure to rise and flow to diminish. When pressure gauge reads 8 to 10 psi higher than the initial clean pressure you noted, it is time to backwash the filter. It may be necessary to backwash more frequently in the initial cleanup of the pool due to unusually heavy initial load of dirt in the water. Priming the pump. To prevent unnecessary strain on piping system and valving, always shut off the pump before switching filter control valve position. And be sure to clean pump strainer and skimmer baskets regularly to prevent damage to the pump and filter and for proper operation of the system. This is where isolation or slam valves come into play, making for an easier cleaning procedure. In a flooded suction system, water source higher than the pump will prime itself when suction and discharge valves are open. If pump is not in a flooded suction system, unscrew and remove trap cover. Fill trap and pump with water. Remember to only tighten trap cover by hand. Do not over-tighten. Grease with waterproof grease when necessary. Pump should prime now. Priming time will depend on vertical length of suction lift and horizontal length of suction piping. Filter control valve functions. Filter. Set valve to filter for normal filtering, also for regular vacuuming. Backwash. For cleaning filter when filter pressure gauge rises 8 to 10 psi above startup or clean pressure. Stop the pump, set valve to backwash, start pump and backwash until water in sight glass is clear. Approximately 2 minutes or less, depending on dirt accumulation. Proceed to rinse. Rinse. After backwashing with pump off, set valve to rinse. Start pump and operate for about half to 1 minute. This ensures that all dirty water from backwashing is rinsed out of the filter to waste, preventing possible return to the pool. Stop pump, set valve to filter, and start pump for normal filtering. Closed. Shuts off all flow to filter or pool. We hope this video was helpful in assisting with your filtration installation. For additional questions, please call Aqua Pro at 1-877-278-2797. You can also visit us online at www.ecoaquapro.com.